What up, Grid Squad? It's your boy Juggernaut08 coming at you again. You know what? It's been a while, so I can't really say like I'm coming at you again, like we've been doing it back to back, like we used to. Let's just say I'm back for the first time. I'm back in the building. Um, Let me get a quick shout out to everybody who supports the grid, who supports the NBL. You know, all the admins, everybody who does all the hard work around here. Without y'all, we wouldn't be nothing, man. But let's get to business, man. Obviously, it's a little different in the middle of a move, but I had to do what I had to do, get things done. We're we're about maybe a couple days away from where I can have the desk set up and all the lighting right. So sorry for right now. We're gonna get it done though. Today we're coming at you guys with a great debate between two of the greatest NBL franchises of all, probably the top two in my opinion, the Lions and the Steelers. Now, when you look at it from afar, the Lions and the Steelers between the two teams got 10 titles. They've got 10 titles. They've got a bunch of owner of the year accolades. The teams are amazing. What I will point out is that it doesn't always show you who's greater when it comes to stats. Stats don't always help you. When it comes down to it, sometimes it comes down to who wins the head to head, who builds the better team, and we're gonna go through all that. Um, but let's start with a couple things here. Uh, I believe that for the debate, I'll save my preference towards the end, but I'll tell you guys like this: you'll probably be able to read it from what I've gathered, all the stats and everything. What I will say is that I spoke to both owners. Both owners are very humble individuals. They're both amazing. They both will tell you, "Hey, that team over there, that's a hell of a team," and that they're both pretty much humble. Um, I don't think there's a lot of teams out there that are like that. I don't win a lot, and I'm talking mess all the time. So, I guess that's the formula, man. You shut your mouth, you might win a couple games. But old Judge, he don't learn from none of that, man. I still do my thing. What I'm gonna put out there is this: if we're going year by year, I'm not sure how close this is. I'm not sure, but we'll look at it like this: we'll go cover years here. We'll go Super Bowls in cover years. For Madden 15, the Lions walked away with one title. I think there was only 3 seasons, 4 seasons, but one title. Madden 16, things were going. August to August, they walked away with two. Pittsburgh Steelers walked away with one themselves. Madden 17, Lions got two, Steelers got two. But I'm going to say it like this: the Steelers got two in a row. That's extremely hard. I don't know that many teams that could pull it off, especially teams that come in with older quarterbacks. The regression in those days were crazy, so you couldn't hold on to some of these guys because, I mean, next you know, Antonio Brown probably has the speed of a tight end. But it's not all about speed here in NBL, baby. Um, Madden 18, Lions got one, Steelers got one. But there's a theme here. The Steelers have seemed to be begun winning their Super Bowls during the earlier parts of the Madden cycle, which I consider. Um, their teams are usually loaded out the box. Steelers are amazing. At one point, they showed up with a top 10 quarterback, a top two running back, a top two receiver, with one of the best defenses the game can give you. Probably the fastest middle linebacker, uh, one of the best D lines. I mean, they had to put a lot together. They did have to work for it, and they had to sustain it. It's definitely not easy to sustain. Teams can come in loaded, and in 2 years they don't look anything like themselves. I mean, if it was all about loaded teams, the Seattle Seahawks would win a lot of Super Bowls every cover year from the last year and back. We're not talking about next year. That's not the same team. Um, but what we'll do here is we're gonna actually go over records. We're gonna talk about records, like big records that these team owners have. Um, right now, it's funny because the Steelers in the NBL actually had Matt Stafford. This is after all those many, 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 many years of him being a Lion. And the Steelers set the all-time touchdown record with 50. That's amazing in season 31 that they got 50 touchdowns. In season 30, Stafford set another record, but with another team, with the Lions. He threw for 5,453 yards, which is an incredible feat at best. I mean, there's not many quarterbacks that could do that in any league, especially ours. I mean, we don't have such an open receiver route out here. There's not just a bunch of receivers running around here crazy. These teams play defense, man. This is not free willy out here. Um, and then we're also gonna look back to season 31 where Harvey Beckham, a monster among men, he had 1,851 yards. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like I need that in my life. That man was killing. But then you know what? We're gonna go back to another Steelers thing. Antonio Brown, he had 19 TDs in season 28. That's crazy too. Antonio Brown is one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the game in real life. Um, I think that that's that man can do that probably in real life, but we'll see. Um, that'll be it for like records, like outstanding records that these guys have set that I'll go over. But I want to look at something that I find important. Owner of the year. In the NBL here, we give out owner of the year to a lot of players. I mean, to someone every year. And in season 14, all the way back in 14, Lip Ripper and the Steelers, they got owner of the year. In season 26, Lip Ripper again. In season 31, Lip Ripper again. In season 30, we had Bomber Leagues only. Number one, Bomber. Now, here's what's crazy. That's 1-3 there. I mean, the league considers a lot of things before they make these awards happen. So this is pretty telling there. Um, the Lions have an 81% win percentage. That's these guys barely lose. The Steelers, they've got a 77% win percentage. That's amazing too. I mean, 333 wins to 98 losses and one tie for the Steelers, and 351 wins, 78 losses, and three ties for the Lions all throughout all these Maddens. 20 division titles, 9 conference titles, six rings for the Lions, 4 rings for the Steelers, 19 division titles, one behind the Lions, and 7 conference titles. That's pretty big, man. But what's really hard is the consistency. Both these teams are consistent. They never have those just really off years. They ball, man. These teams are crazy with it. It's I was in the NBL for a minute. I did play the Steelers 3 times. I was 0-3. I can't remember. I think I had lost by a combined like 36 points. So that, I wasn't getting dog stuff beaten out of me, but they were dope. we did our best. I think the Lip Ripper is one of the best I've ever played. I never got the pleasure of playing Bomber. I'll probably play him, one of these days, but he was definitely dope. Um, Now we're gonna go down to pretty much the end of this debate here, and I want to close it off like this. I look at the games and I watch the games and I watch the adjustments made. Both these teams they make the best adjustments. Period. They figure it out. I want to give a shout out to guys like Gub, you know, Z Star. There's a lot of players out there that are, make great adjustments as well. Um, but these guys, you just can't get them off their game. They figure you out and they go. Um, the weird thing is, I had to bring this whole debate down after reviewing a bunch of stats and looking at a bunch of things that happened between these guys. And I had to look at one number that really mattered to me the most. And it's not to me, really, more like to those who win championships. The thing that matters most is championships. All the other stuff is just whatever. If you win a championship, you really are legit. And there's nobody that can take that from you. You can always say, "Hey, look back at the site, bro. Madden 3Cast, come on, look at my resume, man." And these teams both have great resumes. But Bomber, who's got 6 of them things, he got 3 of them things off the Steelers. He's 3-1 against the Steelers. Therefore, making the Steelers to me second fiddle, but a strong second fiddle. There's teams like the Chargers out there. There's things like there's a bunch of teams out there that can beat probably both of these teams. But when it comes to building teams, these guys are building from the behind the tail end of the draft every year. Every year. They're not getting a top 10 pick. They're not trading for all these kind of. These guys are building from the tail end of the draft every year. These guys are building with older quarterbacks sometimes. Ben Roethlisberger, older receivers, whatever, and they still they consistently are in the top of the league. I'm putting this. I'm giving this debate to the Lions. It's a very close call, but the head-to-head matchups mean something. And you know what? Both these teams they draft so well. They draft so well. I think Bomber has the superstar edge for me because Beckham was crazy. Jeez, what could you do with that man? Um, Stafford, he's been amazing for the Lions for so many years. Now he's over there in Pittsburgh. He's still amazing. So you can't really talk. Like I think the best player that the Lions have ever had was Stafford because he's the most consistent, played on every team until now. And you know, I think that you just can't compare these two when it comes to head to head because Bomber wins when it counts. Lip Ripper's a beast. The Lions they're normally the team with the lower overall when coming into Madden, and the Steelers are always loaded. But to maintain that and to also build upon that, both these teams deserve respect, which y'all should give them. But definitely Bomber and the Lions win this for me. That's it for me today, folks. Once the desk and everything's set up and the lighting's better, I promise you we're gonna get some more videos out here. Um, let's finish strong. We got about one more season for the cycle, and then we're going ahead and trade them things in. We go August to August, so we trading them things in and getting the new Madden. But I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day. Peace.